What's going on, Mayhem Mafia? It's your favorite BOP agent. That's right, it's Sarge Mayhem. We have the last video of this year happening right now. And you're going to have to stay tuned because we're going to talk about this past year and what we got going on for the next year. And I want to hear what you got going on. With that said, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage. Alright guys, welcome back. Like I said, I'm Sarge Mayhem. We're going to talk about this last year, 2025. It was a long year, a hard year, but a good year. So let's talk about what happened for me, but I also want you to comment down below what happened to you and the achievements, downsides, and how we've all grown and what your goals are for next year. While you're doing that, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, and let's get into it. So to start off the year, first month of the year, what happened this year? I lost my job. I worked for a gun store for about 5 years, and I was their instructor, one of their armorers. I was a salesperson. I was a supervisor. I did management. I did all kinds of roles, and it apparently just didn't work out. Nothing that I in particularly did, it just didn't work out, and that sucked. We lost a lot of money a month. However, I was able to get more time to spend with my daughter, so that was a good thing. Something I wasn't able to do because I devoted most of the time to that company, which I shouldn't have done. And yeah, that's kind of how that works. Your family is more important than your job, but you also need to dedicate time to that job to provide for your family. So it's a very hard balance to do. So we just got to keep that in mind. One of the other things I did this year a lot is I was cutting cards, right? See that? There we go. Cool. I started doing the trim around the door that you can't see of all the split cards that I did. Fun. I love splitting cards. These guys are now going from what we were doing with the 22s and on a tripod or something. Now they're doing it with pistols. Now I have to go out there and do it with pistols, which means that that's something that I'm going to be doing next year, is trying to cut cards with pistols. I became a CPR certified instructor, which is awesome because I had a lot of my students asking me about first aid and being certified and CPR and all that. And I was like, okay, cool. So I put the money ahead of other things I wanted to do. And I went and became a CPR certified instructor. So we got that going for us in the business that we will talk about here soon. I got a SIG Fuse. Great gun. Love the gun. It was awesome. I like it a little bit more than the macro, even though the macro with ports would beat the stock fuse. But the fuse with ports, especially those lucky sevens. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Monsoon Tactical. Those lucky sevens. Just awesome. I had this SIG Fuse, loved it. The only thing I didn't like is that the trigger didn't pull all the way to the back when it broke. It broke at 90 degrees, so it made the rest of my guns a little weird when I focus on that gun. So that was something that was a hit and a miss. But I used that for the next thing that I did this year, which was starting to compete with the boys like Jay Wet, These Gaines, Fireman, John McCabe, Geek with the Glock, Black Arms. I got to compete with you guys, and it wasn't me competing against you guys. It was me competing with you guys. And the only thing that we were really doing is competing against ourselves. For me, Josh, and Darius, or Jay Wet and These Gaines, if you didn't know, this was our first competition. We never did anything like this one. I've done other competitions, just not like this one, which I really enjoy this one because it's EDC. So how you carry and what you do, it's a great competition. I highly recommend you guys join us. It's in Ruskin, Florida at Guncraft. It's called US Concealed Carry League. Pretty sure I got that right. Great competition. The main goal, don't lose, like completely lose. Don't be last, right? I understand if you're not first, you're last. Got it. Cool. Whatever. I wasn't first, but I also wasn't last, right? The other thing is I didn't want to get a DQ. I didn't want to break any safety rules or anything like that. I'd rather take more time and not do as well and make sure that I'm being safe than anything else. And I didn't win, I didn't lose, and I didn't get a DQ. So I think I checked that box. In the beginning of the year, the Miss Mayhem called me out on some stuff, and I'm working through it. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, or they might look at this weird or whatever. But for years and years and years, I had a problem that I didn't realize I had, or I didn't think it was that bad, I guess is a better way of putting it. And that was with alcohol. I had a problem with it. And she called me out. And she rightfully did that. And so I went into the VA and was like, hey, I need some help. This is the problem. They threw me through some SUDS program. If you guys don't know what that is, it's substance abuse. And basically, I started a better path, and now I'm on my way to knocking out that problem, which is a great achievement to me, and I would believe my wife and my friends and family around me. We also started a company. Once I lost my job, I knew that, not trying to toot my own horn again or whatever, but I was a good instructor. I taught people in a way that they could understand it. Right? Not everybody can do that, but I was able to do that. So I didn't want to give that up. So we started a business called Mayhem Defense, which is the channel that you're watching. And that was the goal. So next year you're going to see a lot more gun stuff with me teaching with Mayhem Defense channel. And it's ran off of the Mayhem Defense LLC. And I hope that if you guys are in the area, if you want to do some work or even just come shoot with me, by all means, let me know. Comment down below and we can work that out. The other company is Caddy Clothing. Caddy stands for Come and Take It, CATI. And the whole thing behind it, come and take it. The whole thing behind that is we're not looking to make profit off of that. We're just kind of looking to get a brand out there, but also about 40%, 30 to 40% of the proceeds are going to go to either veteran organizations, people struck with natural disasters, homeless, stuff like that. We're not trying to become millionaires off of this company. We're trying to give back while giving you guys good quality products. I got to go to GunCon. GunCon was awesome this year. I got to talk with a lot of cool companies and grow great relationships with companies like Fusion Firearms, which this next year, I got some things that you guys are going to see with them. Wheeler Tools, they really, really helped me out. Gave me a lot of stuff that I use to build guns like the ones you see back here. Tandem Cross sent me the stuff that I put together here for this guy. Got to shoot it at GunCon, got to talk with them. And I also have this guy up here that's also a Tandem Cross. They were so supportive and so excited to work with me. And I am so grateful for the companies that I worked with and the team and guys that I went to GunCon with. That's Squad Drills guys, Trigger Dad, Fireman, Jay Weth, D's Gaines. It was a blast. I loved being there. I loved the time that we had with them. Got to talk more with Faith Kills Fear. Faith Kills Fear, yeah. Great guy. John Patton, thank you for that. You guys did phenomenal. It was an amazing time. One of the things that I'll never forget. Thank you guys. GunCon was awesome. Princess with the Pistol was there. My buddy Cable, that you guys have seen before, he had showed me her content, and then I seen her there, and I was like, wait, that's her. And me and her got to talk. Very, very cool person. A lot of good content creators there, and I encourage you to go to GunCon next year and see me there. I also turned 37, so yeah, I'm getting old as f***. But one of the biggest achievements that I had this year was found probably a bad word. I began my path back after 30 years. I began my path back to God. It was one of those things that I don't know what it was. It was kind of a light switch, and it was like, yo, you have all these problems, and you need to get help from somebody other than yourself. It won't happen from you. It won't happen from therapists. It won't happen from your wife. It won't happen from anybody else. You need to look towards him and get the help. Ask for the help. Give yourself to him so that he can help you. And we're going to be talking more about that in this upcoming year. But I'm very, very, very grateful for my brethren out there, D's Gaines and Got Gamage, and my buddy Mark for kind of helping me on this path. It's been one of the best things that's happened this year, honestly, no doubt. One of the last things is I got the new Garmin Instinct 3 watch for Christmas. This watch is freaking awesome. Like, I can't, it's very expensive. Very expensive. I don't like spending that much on a watch. The last watch, is it over here? Yep. This was the original Instinct. The first one. Okay, when it came out, it was $200. And I was like, you're out of your mind. I'm not spending that much on a watch. I didn't. Miss Mayhem did. So, I had that watch. I've had that watch for like 5 years. So, obviously, the battery life starts dying and connection starts acting up and all this stuff. So, with that said, Miss Mayhem did me a solid, and I love her for it, and she got me the newest version, and there's all kinds of stuff, and we're going to be doing a review on this watch in the new year. If you have any questions, just go ahead, drop it down below, let me know. Most people had the touchscreens. This is not a touchscreen. I destroy touchscreens. So, having one on my wrist is a terrible idea. This is a smartwatch. You can still do the tap to pay and notifications and all that fun jazz. But there's so much more in it, especially if you are a shooter or a survivalist or hunter, whatever. Great watch. In the end, I'm very grateful. It wasn't my best year, but I'm very, very grateful. So what's going on, Mayhem Mafia? I'm always trying to present great companies that you can go to that support the 2A community and veterans, and YouTube keeps taking me down because I give you the actual link. So instead, you're going to do a Google search because I know you know how. And the first great company that we're going to be talking about is Brownells. Brownells is a great place to go. Lots of selection, great customer service, and that's why I get all my Gats, Glass, and Brass from Brownells. You can use that code BOP10. Save yourself a little bit of coin just like I do. The other company that you're going to Google search is the best gun oil on the market. If you don't know, you're wrong. And that's going to be Cleanse Oil. This is their new synthetic blend. I love it. It works very well. They have Carbon Killer that works exceptionally well. Great products, great customer service. They're all for the veterans because they're owned by a veteran. So go ahead and give them a Google search, and we'll get right back to the video. So let's talk about what's going on next year. So, in the beginning of the year, here in the first 2 weeks or so of the year, I'm getting a new puppy. I lost my service dog, Jimbo, a year or so ago, and it's been very difficult, to say the least. But I found what I think is the perfect dog for me, and it's going to be a blue heeler, and her name is going to be Abby. Abby's going to be short for Abigail, which translates to Father's Gift. So I'm excited to show you guys the path and me training her and working with her and all the fun things with her. I hope you guys look forward to it. Beautiful pup, beautiful. The other thing is, beginning of the year, I'm going to be starting a course, program, I guess is a better way of putting it, for CompTIA. That's COMPTIA. That is like security, the Security Plus. I got to give a shout out to my man, Jay Weth, for bringing it up to me, pushing me to get into it. He pushed me last year and I didn't do it. And this year I was like, you know what? You were right. I was wrong. If I can still get into this, let me do it. And he helped me. He gave me the information. He gave me the push into it. And I cannot wait to crush this CompTIA Security Plus course and get a new avenue of work. One of the other things I want to do this year is I want to get in better shape like I was before in the military. I want to eat better. I want to put myself in a better place, which is why, reducing or eliminating that alcohol is a big thing. I want to be a better husband. I want to spend more time with my wife because she is the most important thing, right? Other than God, she is the most important thing because in the end, the kids will go away. They'll end up in college or married or whatever. And I won't have anybody if I lose her. And I don't want that. So I want to make sure that I turn all this stuff around and make life better for her and me as a couple. I want to compete more. Obviously, I'm going to be going back into the USCCL. There we go. And competing this year. There were 6 matches. I only got to do 4 of them. So I want to try and do at least 5. Sometimes it conflicts with GunCon, so we'll see. But I also want to try other competitions, right? I want to work with more companies. So those of you guys out there, even though there's not much that watch it, I'm looking forward to working with you guys, especially Fusion Arms. I'm very excited to work with you guys. But some of the other companies I reached out to, they've been a little hesitant. I get it. I understand. I don't have the biggest following in the world. I'm working on that. But I just want to work with companies and show you guys what products these people have that can benefit you. I want to do better content. So I'm going to be doing a lot more research on how to make content more engaging, different cameras. I have cameras all over. The one you're looking at. I have the Insta. I have the Meta glasses. I have all these things. I have all these resources. And I just need to use them in a better way. So that's a goal that I'm going to be doing. Excuse me. I want to go to GunCon. But I went to GunCon this past year. I went to GunCon the year before. I want to go to GunCon this year. However, I want to add something in there. I want to go to Train and Learn, which is not far away. And I really want to see what they put on there. From what I heard, it's not just training and you have great, let me emphasize this. Great instructors, right? Sounds like Trump there. I got it. Cool. But they also tell you how you can do your content better. They give you tips, tricks, stuff like that. I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to GunCon. I'm looking forward to building the business, getting my business bigger and more people that I can teach. And that's what I really am looking forward to with the business, seeing what we can pull off, seeing what we can come up with, seeing what I can do to help you guys and other people who are just new to the area. I don't know if you guys know, but in Central Florida, they're exploding with houses. So I want to make sure everybody's safe. If you're allowed to carry the firearm, I want to make sure that you and your family are safe with that firearm. And then also, if you don't like firearms, I want to show you how to help others with medical skills. I want to grow in my faith and become more involved in the church. And that's a big thing that I'm interested in, along with the other things. But one of the things that I want to know is, what's your achievements this last year? And what are your goals next year? What are you trying to achieve next year? That's a big thing. And I want you guys to hold me accountable, and I want to hold you accountable. But the only way that we could do that is for you guys to comment down below and let me know what your goals are, what your main focus is, and I want to hold you accountable for that just as much as I want you to hold me accountable for all the things I just listed. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I hope you guys hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, but if you don't, that's okay. The Mayhem Mafia, I feel you. With that said, that's it for us for this year. And we will see you guys next year. Thank you, Mayhem Mafia, for being you and all your support. Thank you, Squadrills. Thank you, Brownells, for all your help. Thank you, Cleanse Oil, for always keeping my GATS glass and brass nice and lubricated, as well as all the hinges in my house. Always using that Cleanse Oil. Can't wait to see you guys next year. Can't wait to see what we accomplish together. With that said, Mayhem Mafia, I love you guys. Be safe. Stay strong. Till next year. I'm out.